All right, so we did inside zone, power, okay, power ISO, and then all our counters. All right, now we got to get on the edge, right? You got to get the ball on the edge. I do believe, you've got to have some outside run schemes. Those are important, all right, because, I've been in situations as to where we didn't have many outside run schemes, and then, it was just tough sledding when we couldn't run the ball in between the tackles. So here, I'm going to give you some examples of some different outside runs that you can put within this pro gun offense, and then show you a few clips of it. All right, so outside run schemes. All right, so you can get creative with what you want. All right, whatever your needs are. Are you playing a team that? Are you a big power? Are you really good at power this year? So you need something that's like power to get on the edge. Do you want to work outside zone, okay, schemes? Do you want to run jet sweeps? And I'm going to show you influence jet sweep. We've run that in the past, and it's a really good play. It takes some trusting, but it's a really, really good play in my opinion, especially if you're running a lot of power. You can run some power read. Okay, I don't have power read on here, but we're going to run some power read stuff. So you can do multiple things to get the ball on the edge, and I can actually show you some of these right here. All right, so outside zone. Okay, our outside zone scheme, is it's all about landmarks, all right? And we want our back aiming for 1 yard outside the tackle, okay? The offensive line, they're taking their outside zone steps. They're working that inside hand to that outside number, all right? We don't say reach, all right? But if he does get him reach, great, all right? And really the back is aiming point is that 1 yard outside that tackle, and that thing's going to bend into here, or it's going to get on the edge. Okay, so they're across the board, taking, the good, deep first step, and then getting to that down lineman's outside number, all right, with their inside hand. So we're full zoning across the board, all right. Now we reverse out and hand this thing. Remember when I talked about how I like our back deep, okay, and our inside run game and our power run game and our zone run game. I like the back deep. So all that stuff can pan out in front of him and he can hit it full speed. Well, this is the play where it kind of hurts you a little bit, all right, because you have to move him up. So what we did was we said, all right, leave him where he's normally aligned so we don't tip our hat pre-snap. Hey, they're running outside zone when the back is even with the quarterback. But we just simply, he goes behind the quarterback, all right, and for his landmark, and the quarterback just reverses out to hand him the football, okay? So we do it that way. You could also leave him aligned. I've done this too. And you want to keep him deep like you do on your inside run game. And we've taken with our back foot, a back step, and then even up with the quarterback, the running back that way to put him on his track. So we didn't have to move him. So we would actually catch the snap, step back with our back foot, and mesh the football going on our outside zone that way. So we've done that as well. Okay. So and then you can lead it with a full back or a U back or an extra back. Got some of that in there too. So that's one example of one scheme you can run, outside zone. And outside zone takes some time to get good at. You gotta rep it. Power sweep. All right. This is something we were really big into when I was coaching at Thompson. We had a lot of speed, and we ran a lot of opposite side power. And so we put this play in, all right, and we just tagged it. We call it, Pittsburgh was our power play. We called it Pittsburgh. So we just said, hey, let's tag sweep because we want to get the ball on the edge. We weren't a big buck sweep team. We had again, we want to keep our system simple. All right, so buck sweep's a lot of teaching. It's an investment. All right, and we're just, we're not going to run buck sweep a lot in the game. All right, so what's the easiest way? What's our need? We need to get the ball on the edge with a power look and keep it simple. Well, we came up with this. We said, all right, when we say Pittsburgh City, we would tag City to it. All right, and what City told the U-back or the fullback that he is going to block the D end, all right, and try to get him logged or get him inside. It's power to everyone else. Everyone else on the offensive line, they're running power, okay? And the guard is going to pull, get a little deeper, and he's going to get around this. And he's going to peek inside for the mic. If the mic don't scrape and show, he's just going to get his eyes up and keep working up. So, we get it logged. This is against a team that's really wrong-arming. They're squeezing. They're blowing up power. Well, let's run power, but let's tag City to it, and it turns into our power sweep. Now, I didn't have to teach the brand new scheme. I didn't have to teach, 2 guards pulling and the whole buck sweep scheme, but we're getting what we needed. We needed a run play that looked like power to get on the edge to take advantage of a team trying to squeeze and wrong arm power. All right, so he's going to get him hooked, and our guard's going to get deeper and get on the edge. The only other thing that changes is when we say put the sweep tag to our power, the back's landmark. All right, he's going to have outside zone type landmark. He's really aiming for that hip of the tackle, outside hip of the tackle. Jet sweeps. All right, and we don't get real complicated with the jet sweeps. We're going to run outside zone. All right, up front, they're running outside zone. We're going to put the Z in motion or the H in motion. He's going to come and we're going to mesh the ball. I've done it 2 ways. All right, we have handed it off like a traditional handoff. All right, because if we do some read stuff, we want it to look the same. But I've also done where we catch and just do a push pass. All right, I like the push pass a little better. All right, a couple reasons. One, if it falls down, it's an incomplete pass. It's a forward pass. 2, all right, how often does receivers take handoffs at practice? They don't really. How often do they catch balls? All the time. So I like it because it's not an investment to teach. You just catch and you'll push pass it forward. All right, we'll run our jet sweep. And then what we do here is we can either fake the handoff here, okay, or lead him on the edge. So it's really, whichever one you want to do. You can tag it. You can do both. I've done both where we tag it. We tag lead. He may lead, or we don't tag anything, and the quarterback knows I'm going to push pass it or I'm going to hand it off, then I'm going to turn and fake here. All right, and I think that's really important because if you send him out right now, this guy's going to scrape right now. All right, so you're just bringing more people to the party. So I think you can kind of hold that linebacker a little bit if you fake the mesh off your jet sweep. All right, here's the influence jet sweep that I was talking about. Up front, it's just power. All right, so we just call power up front. All right, and we have a tag for it. All right, for the U-back or the fullback. You do it with a fullback too, where he's arcing the alley and he's not touching the DN. Don't block him. Unless he goes screaming outside and crosses your face, we have told the fullback, go ahead and block him then. All right, if he goes screaming outside. But then we won't call this play anymore. All right, this is one of those things where you call 3 times a game if you're running a lot of power. All right, so they're getting their double team back just like power. They're doubling to backside backer, blocking back, gap hinge. All right, the guard's going to skip pull, and he's pulling just like he would on power. Do not touch the DN. Don't touch him. You're probably going to have to go around him, all right, because he's going to squeeze so hard. That's why we're calling this play, right? And then you're just going to push pass or mesh the ball with a handoff on the jet sweep. And you're just banking on, all right, the DN squeezing. He's unblocked. You think that he'll make the play, but it goes so fast, and he can't redirect, make the play. So it's a little influence jet sweep. It's been a really good play for us. All right, so here, let's see what we have first here. We've got an outside zone. You can see our offensive line really working that outside number. Really working that outside number. Our U-back's working that outside number. I really like for the U-back to work down the middle of the body. All right, because but he does get him pinned inside and we get the edge. Here's a good look at it right here. The couple things pay attention to is the mesh. As you see pre-snap, our running back, he's at his normal depth. All right, and the quarterback reverses out, hands in the football. Everybody's working that outside number. As you see our center, he's working that outside number. That guy goes away. Now he can work up to backer. Does a great job of getting off to that linebacker. Same thing here. We kind of loaded it up with fullbacks right here. All right. And the same thing, running the outside zone, getting the edge. So you can load it up. You can put your U-back in there, and we have personnel groupings like that where we have our U-back here, and then we have our traditional fullback here. All right, so it looks like a double wing type offense, but it's just gaining that extra gap, really expanding that 3-4 defense that this team was running. Same look here with the double fullbacks, or the U-back and the fullback. There's another one. Reverse out, hand the football. Everybody's working that outside number. Guard is uncovered, so he works right up to that linebacker's outside number. Doing a good job. Same thing, we motion the U-back, we reverse out, and again, that's just a shift. We just tell the U-back to shift. And he does a good job of, peeking inside and seeing that linebacker is committed, and now he's getting upfield looking for work. There's another look of getting the edge with the running back, reversing out and attacking that edge. Because you're going to have to attack the edges of the defense. So there's some of our outside zones. Let's get to some of this other stuff. All right, here's just an outside zone here, and we're just flipping it with the jet sweep. Again, you don't have to teach a bunch of different scheme. We're running the outside zone that I was showing where we reverse out and handing the ball off is the same thing we're running right here. All right, we just lined up the receivers. We had a call for this where I just gave them a thumbs up, and that told the Y and the Z both are on. All right, they're uncovered. They're covered, so he's ineligible, yeah. And so, but that's fine. We're getting hats. We're bringing him in motion. We can still run our tags fast screen stuff over here. All right, we can't do some pass game stuff, but we can still run our RPOs with him being ineligible. And turns into a big game for us. But getting the ball out on the edge, making teams defend the entire field. And that's kind of our goal as an offense is to make them defend the field vertically and make them defend the field horizontally. Use the entire field as an offense, but still be like a pro-style offense. A good mix. Another tip, when we motion, I don't like to tell the quarterback to point or to look over and give his hands here or come on over here. I think that takes his attention off other things that he needs to be focused on pre-snap. So we tell our quarterback during the cadence, all right, just drop your hand. So, I want to time it up. I'm going to drop my hand, all right, to time it up. And that's how we start the motion. And during the cadence, at some point in our cadence, we'll drop our hand, and that signals that come on with the motion. You can call your motions zip, zap, orbit, hop, hip. Try to keep it simple. If it's a Z, try to come up with something that starts with a Z. If it's an H, try to come up with something that starts with an H. Outside zone has a jet sweep. Same thing. You see that nice little toss to the wide receiver, opposed to just handing it off. Okay, trying to get to our influence power look, or influence jet sweep. Here it is. The DN slows down just enough. He knows he's not being blocked, and it pauses him, and then we get the edge. So it's a good little scheme. It's not something that you can do a lot of, or multiple times in a game, but you do it enough times to get big gains like this. Here it is again, the influence jet sweep. The DN pauses, we can get the edge. Then obviously you can do some pass stuff off of that as well. Here's one more look at it. Here's a good look at the touch pass. Now this is our power sweep. Okay, we're playing a team that's just loading the box and squeezing and condensing, and this is that power sweep I was talking about. That guy just ran upfield. We made a play. Wasn't a great clip to show, but here's a good clip of it. All right, so that's his kick. So our fullback, I'd like to see his head, a little more on. It's pretty good there. It gets him engaged. I'd like to see him use his hands a little more. Look up front. We're just blocking power. Our guard knows he's got to be a little deeper. All right. We weren't skip pulling then at Thompson. Our O-line coach teaches skip pull now at Massillon. So he's out on the edge, and it's essentially what you get with buck sweep. All right, and we're not a buck sweep team, so we run this play, this power sweep. To get the edge. You can condense your formation and run it. See how our guard gets out there. Our receiver missed his block, but our guard gets out there and picks it up. And then you can load it up by adding the back. So here's a look at it with our three backs. And our back, he's responsible if he's going to have a lead tag, okay, in this power sweep. He's coming the alley. He's coming through the alley. Nothing shows. Get your eyes inside. And he does a great job here of doing that. Gets a nice block that springs us for a big gain. So that's our outside run schemes.